Mosaic Mondays. Hello, Mosaic Souls, and welcome to Mosaic Mondays. Indigo Ray here, and today I wanted to talk about a few different things. The first thing is I had this kind of major revelation over the past week, and I'm still kind of getting educated on it and still have some testing to do, but this is kind of major for me. I was on vacation. I went to Las Vegas with my father, and sorry, I'm looking at my dog. He's rolling around the grass. So one of the things that I discovered, one of the things I've actually battled with, and one of the reasons why I've also been so very health conscious and always into my health, is that I've always kind of struggled with depression and feeling down or not feeling optimum. And I've been struggling with this for a while. You might even see on some of my past YouTube videos from 2 years ago about me talking about why I went vegan, and because I wanted to feel better. I wanted to feel good all the time, or raw vegan when I tried that as well. And it was pointed out to me by my partner, and it was just like a kind of like a coming to Jesus moment, where it's like, oh my God, this is so true, that I may be bipolar. And I'm not really, I don't really have the diagnosis from the doctor, but reading up on it and hearing other people's testimonials about being bipolar and what that is, and all that stuff totally rung true with my heart. And I started crying when I was watching this YouTube video about this doctor who was talking about it, and this other girl who was sharing some of what she experienced being bipolar. And I was like, oh my God, that's me. That's totally me. And so I think, having been educating myself over the past few days about what bipolar actually is, I think I'm more on the type 2, so it's less severe. So I would have these manic phases where I'm just high and I can take over the world, and I do 80 different things in that one day and get so much done. And then the next 3 days I'd be down and I couldn't get out of bed, or I was so low energy. I felt, down. And because I'm so aware of my thoughts and stuff, it felt like a mental fog and physical tiredness and things of that nature, and sleeping, just kind of like a depression. But for me, the way I've been experiencing it, especially over the past few months, because I'm so aware and because I've had a spiritual awakening, I don't have really any negative self-talk. So I think when I had my spiritual awakening, the huge shift that I had, the spiritual awakening was always happening. So anyways, but the huge shift, the most recent shift in 2014, a lot of the negative self-talk started to fall away over that past year. And so I don't really have that with it, but more so I have the physiological symptoms of it, of just the tiredness, of not feeling well, of feeling down, of literally feeling like this cloud coming in, you can just kind of feel it as it comes in. And a lot of that, I think, was attributed to my diet. I had stopped being vegan. I started eating a lot of sad diet, the standard American diet, kind of, and I think a lot of that has been attributed to it. And I guess I wanted to just talk about that. A lot of times, doing a lot of research on it and being a health coach, a lot of people struggle with this, whether it's ADHD, depression, bipolar. There's a lot of mental disorders that many people deal with, or even if you just struggle with focusing, in general. A lot of us struggle with that, and a lot of it has to do with the way that we eat and the way that we take care of our bodies. It's a living, mental disorders are definitely genetic, but they can be triggered by the lifestyle, right? And so I've been noticing, especially over the past year or two, the severity of this disorder starting to take over, where I would just and my partner kind of pointed it out to me. He was like, yeah, like some days you were like, I'm dancing around the house and I did this and do that. And then the next day I would be sitting in bed being like, and he like would come home and be like, oh, so what did you do today? And I was like, I didn't do anything. I just sat in bed all day and didn't do anything. And he was just telling me about, some of the symptoms because he has a sibling who's also bipolar. And so he was explaining some of his stuff. And I was like, that is totally me. And I was crying. And I was like, finally, like self-diagnosing myself, I'm very, I'm not like a Munchausen syndrome where I'm like, ooh, I have a cut, let me go to the doctor. I'm not that type of person. But when I heard about that and started to read up on it, I was like, yeah, that is totally me. Like, I might have a really mild version of bipolar, but I definitely experience a lot of the symptoms of what bipolar people experience. And I really loved John Gray's explanation of it as he was talking about his brother, and he was talking about it being kind of like a genius disorder, or people who have really active brains, or like, a lot of children coming up nowadays who have ADD and stuff like that might have bipolar or different things like that because the brain is so active. And it's what happens, according to him, is that the brain uses up as you're having your manic phase where you're like high and on top of the world and want to take over and conquer everything, is the brain is using up all your nutrients, certain nutrients that is being depleted. And then so after you use all the nutrients, that's when you have your crash, and that's when you have the depression phase. And it made so much sense, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. And he was just listening to a lot of like famous people who actually struggled with this. And so a lot of times when you say that you have a mental disorder, there's this kind of stigma that you're like damaged goods, you know what I mean? Or people who have sickness or disease and stuff, and things that we don't really talk about, especially in, especially the Black community, being a Black person or an African American. It's something that is not really talked about. And so for me, I remember trying to diagnose myself with it for a really long time. Like I remember when I was about 21, and I was talking to my mom because my mom's a physician's assistant, so she's very conscious and aware of, she's always been into natural health and prevention and things of that nature, and always, that's just her passion, that's her baby. And so I was coming to her and I was like, Mom, I think I'm bipolar. And she was like, you're not bipolar. And I think she just didn't really, want that idea, or the idea of me having that for her child. But, it was a while ago, I tried to diagnose myself with that, or just depression, and I remember taking St. John's wort trying to alleviate my depression. And this is just something that I've kind of dealt with, on and off, even being like vegan and things of that nature. And now that I know, I know that I know in my spirit and in my heart, and like I can take action and do something about it. So I just want to talk to if you're an African American, or you are, even if you aren't, like if it's a kind of stigma in you and your family or your personal circle, definitely talk to someone about it. Research about the different mental disorders that there are. If you struggle with, depression, or you struggle with being able to focus, like ADHD, or and it can manifest in so many different ways. I'm personally educating myself on it right now. A good person that I'm studying right now is John Grace. I think he just had a book called Staying Focused in a Hyper World, and so I'm reading that right now. But it's so crucial to take care of yourself, because we're not damaged goods. It's just like we live in a world that's kind of quote unquote fallen, but where we eat the standard American diet and things of that nature, and so we're not getting the nutrients that we need through our food. And so with that, we have so many diseases and so many things that happen, whether it's cancer or heart disease or diabetes or mental disorders. These are all side effects from your body not getting the nutrients that you need. And me, I've been like just simply changing my diet and coming back over to the vegan and eating more whole foods and being more conscious of what I'm eating. It's so funny being a health coach. You gotta, it's like we're all human. So, and just kind of being in my yoga community, as you know. That's another thing I'm going to talk about in a second. It's so important to just take care of yourself and to evaluate yourself, if you're struggling with anything of that nature, whether, it's physical health related, where it's like diabetes or hypertension or anything, high blood pressure and stuff like that. Those things are all preventable and curable. and also mental disorders. Now that I'm researching, it's all curable. And it makes sense because a lot of stuff what I studied in health coaching school is that the gut is the source of a lot of issues, inflammation in the gut. And so the gut is linked to the brain. Like the gut is considered kind of part of the second brain in a sense that, serotonin and different things like that, dopamine and all those things kind of derive in the gut. And so if you're not getting those nutrients in your gut, the brain is going to be affected, which causes certain mental disorders. So your diet plays an effect on it, plays an aspect in mental disorders, as well as your lifestyle. So are you getting enough sunlight? Are you being out in nature? Are you supported by loved ones? Are you doing work that you love? All of that is combined, and that's, for me, what I consider holistic health, looking at all the aspects of your life, And that's one of my passions, to help people, whether it's in life and in business, because I think it's all connected. Everything is connected. We tend to have things where we're all fragmented and we're like, oh, well, it's only this piece. And it's like, life is not like that. It's this one big web of things that it's moving back and forth. So, making sure I'm still recording. So, yeah, that was my big revelation. And the second thing I wanted to talk about was today is day 100 of my yoga certification. So I have now completed. Yesterday I did my yoga presentation for my class, where we each have to teach the class, and I passed. I'm so excited. I passed, and so now I'm officially a yoga wellness person. I'm already a health coach, but that was just another thing that was more of a spiritual thing for me. Doing that was totally a divine call, how things kind of fall into your lap and you're like, okay, it was totally a divine call, and just the fact that I did a yoga certification with this particular group is Kemetic yoga, Egyptian yoga, and how it's so spiritually centered for me as a spiritual being, a soul having a human experience. So a soul having a human experience, my camera cut off. It was just so totally divine, this whole experience, about joining this group of people who understand the importance of connecting to your divinity and stating from the beginning that we are divine. It was totally synchronistic, the whole thing. I knew it was even though it fell in my lap, I knew that it was a call for my soul. And having been in a spiritual awakening where it's just called kind of all up here, and then being able to incorporate a practice in my own personal life, and now being able to teach others to do that, where I can incorporate my physiological body. So even though I'm not just the body, we still have to take care of our temples. This vessel is still divine as well, And it's just been an amazing experience. So today is day 100. I am now officially a yoga certified instructor, and I am so excited about this journey. It's just the beginning. It feels just like the beginning, and it was definitely I had a lot of ups and a lot of downs doing the certification, because anytime that you're trying to do something consistent, you have so much inner resistance, that goes against your conditioning, and it's out of your comfort zone, So it's been an amazing journey, and I'm so excited about doing it. And I'm thinking about doing a 100 days of creative expression, because one of the things that I've been really into is art, and I am an artist, but visual art. So me as a singer, songwriter, and things of that nature, graphic designer, web designer, but I've been really into drawing and visual art. So I think I really want to improve that skill. So I might do just a 100-day personal challenge of creative expression or art expression or something like that, where I just, challenge myself to draw every day, just one picture a day is the minimum. Oh shoot, that's a big, beautiful yellow butterfly. My signature. It was huge. Where did it go? Anyways. I was like, what is that coming down from the sky? It was gorgeous black and yellow butterfly. Hold on, my dog. Boulder! Come here! Boulder, come here! He's trying to walk in the street. Anyways. live. I'm thinking I'm gonna start, I want to get another camera because I have a Canon T2i, and I want to start doing more like vlogs like these where I'm just sharing more, because I think vlogging is more my style. I like blogging as well, but I just want to share more of my journey and things of that nature. And I think having a smaller camera or something that I can hold around other than my T2i, which is very specific and you have to adjust the lens and all that stuff, would be easier. Like, I use my T2i for music videos and things of that nature, so I think I'll keep it for that, but I want another one, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm just sharing a part of my journey. So yeah, it's been amazing. And so these next 3 months, I'm house sitting for my uncle, and I'm gonna be really just diving into being more of the creative soul that I came here to be, being more fully expressed. So doing more art and doing more music and getting back into being the artist that I came on the planet to be, and being the spiritual mentor also that, that's beautiful, a hawk, that I came to be as well. So, if you're interested in receiving spiritual sessions or life coaching sessions, health coaching sessions, feel free to visit me at indigoray.com. The link is below this video, and love and light, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Peace.